Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 26th of October, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles, very much out of weeks. We'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, gets us into the middle of November, and I shall get over that for you in a moment. Just say that first. Video says our 6-10 UK weather forecast. We've also released the extended European outlook, and there's the third sneaky peaky for Christmas 2024 on the way at 7 PM, and you're not going to want to miss that. Trust me, I don't want to let any cats out of the bag, but it's a good one. This third one. Make sure you check that out, coming up at 7 PM. Every day's content. We will not be live streaming, by the way, this 10 to 14 day, rather than doing it as a video upload. We normally do it on a Wednesday as a live stream, but it's my birthday tomorrow. It's my birthday eve today. Gav's birthday eve. So because of that, I'm doing a birthday live stream tomorrow. So that is the reason we're doing a video for the 10 to 14 day rather than a live stream. But live stream will be coming up for you tomorrow, one-off Thursday live stream. We'll do 10 to 14 day. And as I say, that's coming up tomorrow at 6 PM. Okay, let's crack on with video. Central England temperature is currently sitting at 10.6, at just 0.1 of a degree above 61 to 99 average. Very provisional to yesterday, to the 14th. No, it isn't. Hang on, that's not updated yet. Hold on. No, so we haven't, so sorry about that, everybody. We haven't had an update from Hadley, have we? So that is still provisional to the 14th, to a couple of days ago. I don't know what's happened to the central temperature today, but they haven't updated it at Hadley. When we get an update, I shall bring that to you. Of course I will. Good save there, Gav. Good save. Just noticed at the last minute that something wasn't quite right. Okay, well, let's move on to the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. So looking at Coventry today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Coventry. We're starting off above average with the upper air temperature, though quite warm out there, but also unsettled. We will be finding the upper air temperature sliding away, though, as we go through the last week of October, potentially becoming rather cold then, and then just sitting quite close to the long-term 30-year average as we get towards month's end. So definitely a cooling trend through second half of October from where we're starting out, where we're starting off at just there, to where we are, you know, through the first week, through the final week of the month and towards the first week of November. Precipitation-wise, going to be more rainfall to come over the next week or so, looking pretty unsettled. We do get a drier window just there for a couple of days at the end of this week, but overall that looks quite unsettled, I have to say. Some rather large precipitation spikes, perhaps a drier trend when we look towards the very end of the month and into the beginning of November. Might be a little bit of a drier trend there, but of course that's a long way out extended range and therefore is unreliable. So, sorry everyone, temperature anomalies from 16th to 24th of October are going to be above average, about an average week to come. And precipitation anomalies from the 16th to 24th of October, a bit wetter than average in the north and northwest, drier than average in the south and in the southeast. The latest wind from that from earthnollschool.net shows we've got quite a big area of low pressure just to the west of the UK and Ireland today. We're drawing up a very mild southerly, southeasterly wind though, so mild but also unsettled with low pressure in the Atlantic, bringing further outbreaks of rain. Right, let's start going through chart data. You'll start off with latest UK Met Euro run, low pressure deepening in the Atlantic on Friday, bringing wet, windy weather in from the Atlantic for the end of the week. Into the weekend, that looks quite a potent low. Just there, I have to say that looks quite stormy, brushing the west of the UK and Ireland, well, certainly the west of Ireland and Scotland anyway. You know, that might end up being a named storm, as I said in yesterday's 10 to 14 day by the UK Met and Met Area. It's definitely going to be one to watch. Just staying generally flat and westerly through to the end of the UK Met Euro run. Gets us to the 22nd of October, so mild but still quite unsettled, especially for the north-south, will be a little bit drier. Icon, again, bringing low pressure in off the Atlantic Atlantic. Lots of wind and rain to come there for Scotland in particular. Particularly the north of Scotland could get some severe gales from Sunday into Monday. Flat as a pancake with westerly winds bringing spells of rain into the north and west. That's how we end up with Icon. Again, we're very flat and westerly, high pressure to south, low pressure way to the north, and up and in are coming those west to southwesterly winds. We've got the KMA, also looking very stormy there for Ireland, well, particularly Northern Ireland and into Scotland, as we're going through Sunday. So again, that could be a rainstorm that we see there. Then westerly winds bringing showers into the northwest, mostly dry weather into the south. It will be mild, and we keep it unsettled right way through to the end of the KMA run, which gets us to the 28th of October, rather showery still up to that point. Notice Brisbane remains of a tropical storm and or hurricane moving into the North Atlantic as well, just there with the KMA. So that eventually finished up going up towards Greenland, and whether we will get any impacts from, an area of low pressure from that further down the line remains to be seen. The GFS midnight run, again, much of a muchness for Saturday. Low pressure in control, bringing a band of rain across the country. Then we have that deep area of low pressure to the northwest of Scotland, Sunday into Monday. That could bring some gales, or even some severe gales, into the north. Heading on into the middle part of next week, high pressure is to the south. Southeast, low pressure to the north and northwest, looking pretty unsettled all the way to the end of next week. Low pressure keeps coming, so rather cool and showery. And then on into the extended range. Well, again, we've got high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north. We're looking pretty westerly there. But driest weather is in the south, definitely. The most unsettled weather is up in the north. And as long as the wind stays in from the west and southwest, which it does bear to the 1st of November, it should be generally quite mild. But GFS 6Z, by comparison, brings that weather system across the country over the weekend with outbreaks of rain at times into next week, not making quite as much of that stormy area of low pressure on Sunday, by the way, with 6Z toned it down a little bit, but still, quite wet and windy anyway for the northern half of the country, though. And then on into the middle of next week, again, we keep wind from the west or from the southwest, so it stays unsettled, really. And perhaps turns more unsettled later in the week, actually. Even in the south and southeast, there will be some quite heavy rain with that area of low pressure, I think. And it's becoming cooler or colder as well, with winds eventually swinging back round into the northwest to the north through the closing week of October. And then high pressure sort of building in from off the Atlantic. That's quite a cold high pressure, though. That will produce some chilly nights, I think, maybe a chance of more ground frost, possibly even some air frost. That's how we end up with the GFS 6 again, looks like it's starting to turn and settle. That's the 1st of November. So we're starting to turn and settle again with low pressure coming back in from off the Atlantic. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Please show everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let's know about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. We need to put around 50 subscribers, that's all, 50, to get ourselves to 18.9k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, GM, bringing low pressure in of the Atlantic for the weekend. There's that vigorous area of low pressure developing to the west of Ireland and the UK midnight on Sunday. That's to the northwest of Scotland. Midnight Monday, so Sunday could be quite stormy in the north and west. As I say, there's potential anyway for that to become a named storm. Into next week, we keep wind from west-southwest, so it stays mild, but it will be unsettled with wind and rain in the north and west at times. The south and southeast probably mostly dry until later in the week, and then the weather systems and the areas of low pressure brings wet weather even into south. That's the setup at day 10, and again, it's looking very unsettled there with low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic. And then finally, the ECM rounding it all off with this weather system coming across the country on Saturday. Outbreaks of rain, there's out low, but could become a rainstorm for Sunday into Monday. Again, that's been a real blow up to Scotland with the risk of some severe gales there. Gusts perhaps up to 70 or 80 miles an hour around some of those western and northern coasts there. Then we're sort of flat as a pancake through the middle part of next week with high pressure south, low pressure to the north. So still a bit mixed in the north, mostly dry though down in the south. And then later on in the week, the unsettled weather comes back even into more southern parts of the country by day 10, which is Saturday the 26th of October. This is a precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from Meteo.com. More wet weather to come through the rest of today and into tonight. Then things will go a little bit quieter though for a couple of days, sort of later tomorrow and through Friday, but it doesn't last for long. More wet weather coming in off the Atlantic late Friday and into the weekend. And then we've got a vigorous low to west of Scotland on Sunday, and that could bring some severe gales into the northwest and quite a bit of heavy rain coming in with that as well. Showery conditions then through the early to middle part of next week. Mostly dry for 2 or 3 days though down in the south, but the wet weather by the end of next week is coming back as ever, and we end up by 26th of October looking like we're back to unsettled weather, wet in the southeast and more rain gathering in the Atlantic. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Metropolis. Gets us to the 26th of October. 16 members of the ECM ensemble, looking unsettled and quite cool. Winds in from the northwest and low pressure being showery conditions. We've got 12 again with low pressure to the north, northeast, high pressure to west, southwest, and so that's looking quite cool and showery. We've got 10 with low pressure to the north. Again, that looks pretty showery and quite cool. We've got 7 with high pressure ridging from the southwest to the northeast and a low across France. That will bring the wind in from more of an easterly direction. So that's a little bit different, a little bit more settled, especially for the north. Could be quite cold. And then 6 with high pressure to the east, low pressure to the west. That looks quite unsettled, but should be pretty mild with winds coming up from the south. So unsettled, but at least it will be mild. Generally, most of the options looking unsettled there to some degree at day 10. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 31st of October, Halloween. These are our Halloween options on the table. We've got 18 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the north, low pressures over France. Winds will be coming in from the east. That would bring the potential for some quite wet weather into the south, and the north would be drier, and it could be quite cold with that as well. So that's basically back to September's pattern. Driest in the north, wettest in the south, and winds from the east, so feeling quite cool. We've got 17 with just low pressure dominating, and that's going to be very unsettled with winds off the Atlantic. And then got 16 with high pressure dominating, and low pressure away to the northwest. So really a range of options when we get to 2 weeks out, telling us there is quite a bit of uncertainty. But I guess if you put the 17 here, which is the most unsettled option, together with the 18 here, which is very unsettled for the south anyway, probably the east ensembles are favouring low pressure to still be dominating to some degree at 2 weeks out. And then the CFS-V2, these are 500 millibar high times, broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 16th through to the 22nd of October. Next week looks unsettled with lots of low pressure towards Greenland and Iceland, high pressure down towards Spain, and winds coming in from off the Atlantic. So mostly dry in the south, more unsettled in the north, and it will be mild as well. Week 2 will be the 23rd, 29th of October. High pressure bridging from the Atlantic into western and northern Europe. Mostly dry there. Quite mild, but, might be some chilly nights and that sort of thing. And then week 3 will be the 30th of October, 5th of November. High pressure going a bit further northwards and potentially starting to bring the wind in from more of an east or a northeasterly direction. So still pretty dry, but also quite cold with that. And then week 4 rounds it all off. It's the 6th to the 12th of November. High pressure dominating weather across Western Europe. So mostly dry. And because of the early easterly, I would imagine that that could be quite cold as well, to be honest, under that area of high pressure. Certainly not particularly mild anyway. Lot of high pressure there as we go into November. So after what's been a very wet autumn so far, we could be in for quite a significant change here. Something much drier by late October and lasting through the first half of November. But then again, we have been here before through this autumn with hints of high pressure about within the CFS and whatnot, and it's never really come to much more than a few days. So we need to stay cautious and wait and see. But certainly if this came off anyway, it would be a significant change, something not only colder but substantially drier for for the first half of November. But we shall see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Drop a comment and say what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much for doing that. I need to put a light on in the tower. It's got very dark, hasn't it? Blimey, it's a real, another real dull, dank, miserable day today. Anyway, you're not interested in that. So, yeah, thanks so much for subscribing, liking, sharing, all of that good stuff. And I'd say 50 subscribers will get us to 18.9k, so if you could give us some, that'd be absolutely amazing. We're going to be back at 7 p.m. with the third Christmas Sneaky Peeky. As I said at the start of the video, you do not want to miss that. Trust me, there's some really classic charts in that. I won't tell you whether that's for cold or for mild or warm, but there are some very classic charts in that Sneaky Peeky, so make sure you check that out at 7 p.m. Coming up tomorrow, just a bit of fun though. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, detailed European outlook, and then we'll be live with our 10 to 14 there at 6 p.m. on my birthday live stream. So if you're around the channel at 6, check in and commiserate with me. I should be crying into my birthday cake. No, I won't. I'll take it on the chin. I'll be alright. But I'll see you tomorrow. Anyway, if you're around the channel, please check in at 6 p.m. for my birthday. But for this one, anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and bye for now.